Hello guys, it's Ethan here, and today I'm going to teach y'all how to we're going to study the 2025 STAAR test today. Okay, this is part 4 of how to do the 2024 STAAR test. We're just doing the STAAR test from last year for review. So if you are in like my school seeing this, we do this for our mock STAAR test. So a lot of these answers should look familiar. Okay guys, so let's start. So the first one is 5 x plus 3 to the power square is equal to 75. So if you look, it won't work. So there's two rules you have to do. Let me show you how I would do this. All you have to do is turn the x into an a, and turn the squiggly line or the equal sign into the tilde or squiggly line. And that's literally all you do. So what we're going to do here is turn this into a, and then turn this into a squiggly line. Now you get an answer. So literally all you do is type in your answer choices, and since it's positive, don't worry about the minus sign for plus or minus, just worry about the plus. Which one has a positive solution that is equal to it? So let's start with A. Negative 3 over 5 plus, the square root of 15. That doesn't work, so it can't be A. Let's try the square root of 3 now. This doesn't work either, so it can't be B. So let's try the square root of 3, but let's just change it to negative 3. This doesn't work, so therefore your answer is D. Always check it though, just in case. And oops, wrong number. And they match up exactly, so therefore D is your answer. Okay, nice start. So a part of a quadratic function is on the grid. What is the domain of the part of the function shown? So the domain, right? You have to know what domain versus range is, right? Domain is gonna like, I feel like what 15 of the questions on the test, if there's like 50, at least like what 20 of the questions to 15 will be about domain and range. Okay, so domain and range. Your domain is always your x-axis. So anything that is your x is your domain. Okay, guys. And your range is always your y. Remember that. So domain, you're looking for your x's. Okay. So all you have to do here is, where do they reach the x? Let me show you what I mean. So you might be like, okay, this first part isn't touching the x like the second part is. Don't let that mix you up. Just draw the line straight down from this and see where it touches the x. So it's negative 2, and this already touches the x to 3. So then you're spreading like butter. So it's negative 2 to 3. Okay, now which one has, it's D. All real numbers are greater than or equal to. Yes, that is true. Negative 2 and less than or equal to 3. And you could always check like your signs, like equal to. If it's equal to, the dot is always closed, right? If it's not, it would be open. So therefore D is a correct answer. All right. Next question. Which expression is equivalent for all values of k and m where the expression is defined? So guys, I'm gonna teach y'all two ways to do this. Okay, so if you need to know exponent rules, right? If you're dividing exponents, or like it's like it says it's over it, so it's like 16 over 4, right? For this, so you're dividing the real numbers, but you're actually subtracting the exponents. So look in your reference sheet, right? Just in case, and then see. Okay, so you have this one right here, the second one, right? If it's a number over a number that has 2 exponents, you just subtract the exponents. So all you got to do here is just do basic division and then basic subtraction. So first you're going to divide 16 and 4, since those are whole numbers, they're not exponents. So 16 divided by 4 is 4. Right? You could always check that if you really wanted to, but you don't really have to. 16 divided by 4 is 4. 9 minus 3 is 6. Okay, that's your first part. And then now you're going to get, okay, m divided by m is m. 7 minus 14 is 7. So your only answer is B. So I like to do this is, how can you check this? All you do is do 4x 6. Try to add the k, but, and then you do x 7. So you just turn this into an x. You just turn this into a graph, and you turn this into a graph. You replace the k's and m's with x's, and then you see if they match, okay? So let me show you what I mean. So we're going to do 16x to the power of 9. And then you have, sorry guys. Okay, we'll do that one later. 4x to the power 3, or 3. All right, let me add on to this one. Okay, there it is. X to the power 7, and then x to the power 14. So now you get this weird looking line, and then just type in your answer choice in. You have 4x to the power 6, and then x to the power 7. And they match exactly. So therefore, you just checked your answer that B is the correct answer. Okay, that's nice. A couple more questions left. So a quadratic function is -3/2, 0, and 5, 0. What is the possible equation for h in factored form? So this one's easy, okay? You just need to see which factors give you a quadratic formula that has the x's of these two numbers. So if that doesn't make sense, these have to be your x's. So you need a graph that goes through 5x, 5x, and then, okay, so what is -3/2 as a fraction? It's 1.5, I believe. If I'm wrong, I'll change it. But it has to be equal to those two numbers. I could be wrong on that. Do I remember my... Okay, it's -1.5x. Okay, so let's just get two random answer choices. So let's just try, I don't know, x plus 5, and then, I don't know, 2x minus 3. So, does it give us 5? No, it doesn't. So x is equal to -5, and then this is positive 1.5. So it can't be these combinations. So since it's not x plus 5, let's try x minus 5 and 2x plus 3. Let's see if these match. I'm going to have to okay, no, since it won't show, I'll just do this. X is equal to 1.5. So, okay, so it can't be that one because x doesn't go through it. So how about x is equal to -5? Or is x is equal to 5? Sorry, guys. Does it equal to 5? Yes. So x minus 5 is a factor of this. So x minus 5 is one of your answers. So if it's not 2x plus 3, let's try 3x plus 2. 3x plus 2. Is this going to give us -1.5x? And it doesn't, so therefore, if it doesn't give us this, is it not subtracting? No, so it has to be like 2x plus 3. There it is. So it's going to be 2x plus 3 and x minus 5. And I made the mistake of not making this a minus, but yeah. So these are your two factors. X is equal to 5, and x is equal to -1.5. And then, if we go back, that'll be 2x plus 3. So it'll be 2x plus 3 and x minus 5. 2x plus 3 and x minus 5. Another way of doing this that Mr. P taught me, guys, is if you just want to do this more simpler, because that was kind of confusing, honestly, all you have to do is reset, and just you have to factor them, okay? So, there it is. So you have to do -5 on each side. 5 minus 5 cancels out. H minus 5 is literally equal to h minus 5. H minus 5 is just h minus 5, so that's one of the factors. And then for this one, all you have to do is do the opposite, right? So basically, you're just doing the opposite. What's the opposite of +5, -5? What's the opposite of -3/2? So what you do is, first step, all you have to do is put the outer number out and then make it a positive. So that turns into 2x plus 3. So yeah, it's complicated, but all you have to do is just factor it. So you do -5 on each side. And for this one, you just bring the 2 outside of the fraction. So you just make it a whole number. So then it's like 2 minus 3. and then like the opposite of a negative is a positive, and then those would be your factors. Hope I explained that decently. My handwriting sucks, so my bad. Okay. So we have a triangle whose lengths and units are represented by polynomials. What represents the primitive? So these are polynomials. What do we know about polynomials? That we have to factor them, right? You can't just do 3 over 2x plus 5 over 6. It's missing an x. You can only factor the ones that have x. So you can only factor the ones that have x together. So these will go together. And the ones that don't have x will go together. Does that make sense? So like only the ones with x can add together, and only the ones without an x could go together. So you'll see like 3 over 2 plus 3 plus 2. So you get 6.5, which is 13 over 2. So you can already eliminate what? A and B. So you already have the first part done. So all you have to do now is do 5 over 6 minus 1 over 6 plus 1 over 3, which is 1. So therefore your answer is C, 13 over 2x plus 1. That is correct. Okay, so the total cost of tickets includes a fee that is processing and a cost per ticket. One customer purchased 4 tickets for a total of $160. So if you buy 4 tickets, you're gonna have to spend $160. So $4 is your X, $160 is your Y. Your next one is another purchased 8 for $300. Okay. Oh my gosh, sorry guys. Bro. There it is. Okay, so now all you have to do is turn this into a graph. What is a linear equation? So linear equation, what do you think of when you think of linear equations? You probably think of y is equal to mx1 plus b. And that's what it wants. So do 4 and then 8. And then do 160 and then do 300. So all you're doing here is y1 is equal to mx1 plus b. Sorry guys. So then you have y is equal to 35x, because your m is always your rate of change, plus 20, right? Because that is your y-intercept. And you could always check it if you zoom out to look at the y. It's going to go through 20, as you can tell. You saw the dot. All right, next question. Which expression is a factor of x squared plus 7x minus 30? Okay, so for this one, guys, let me show you the trick. So a lot of people get this one wrong just because they think it's so simple even though they don't know it. So it's asking which expression is a factor. So it's not asking for an x. You're doing it in reverse, right? So when you factor, you're looking for your x's, but now you're looking for 2 factors. So you have to do the opposite, right? You're doing it backwards. Okay, does that make sense? So you're going to do x squared plus 7x minus 30. If it was asking for like a root, okay, yeah, it would be what, negative 10. But it's not. It's asking for a factor. So all you're going to do is get your 2 x's, and you're just going to write them out. So let me get a graph. So you're going to have like what, x minus 10, and then you're going to have, okay, but let's just start with x minus 10. So you're going to have to do the opposite. So when you do the opposite, you just do the opposite of negative 10. The opposite of negative 10 is positive 10. So negative 10 and positive 10 cancel each other out. And then x plus 10 just turns into x plus 10. So one of your factors is x plus 10. But now, since that's not an answer, since that's not an answer, you have to do, let's try with what is this one? 3. So you have what, x is equal to 3. So now you subtract each side by 3. And then that's cancel each other out. The opposite of positive 3 is negative 3, so then you get x minus 3. So that's one of your factors. X minus 3 and x plus 10. If you want to check if this is right, all you do is type in x plus 10. and x minus 3, and they match up into Desmos. So therefore, x plus 10 and x minus 3 are your factors. So it was D. So yeah, that one is easy. You have to do it backwards, right? Okay. So the f of x is so the graph of f of x is equal to x to transport to create the graph g of x is equal to 1 over 2x plus 3. Okay, so we just have to compare and contrast these lines. So do f of x is equal to x, and then g of x is equal to 1 over 2x plus 3. So now we have two different lines, okay? The graph of g, so your graph of g is the one. Now let's just look. This one looks, it's not as like tall as this one. It looks less steep from what I can tell. The graph of g is less steep than the graph of f. It is true, because let's just imagine we had a bicycle, right? And you're trying to ride a bicycle. What would be easier to ride the bike up? Graph f of x if it was a hill, or graph g of x? You could easily ride a bike off g of x, but f of x is steeper, so it's harder. You have to use more energy. So think of it like that. The taller it is, the more slanted, so the closer it is to a straight line, the more steeper it is, basically. Okay? So the graph of g is less steep than the graph of f and has a y-intercept that is blank that of f. So let's compare and contrast the graph of g's y-intercept. The graph of g's y-intercept is higher or greater than the y-intercept of f. So it is greater than. Okay, guys. Like 2 more or 3 more for the day, okay? Line N is shown on the coordinate grid. The table of ordered pairs represent. Which system of equations represent line N and line P? So you're just going to do slide x divide y on these, and you have to see if it equals the linear form version. You might be like, what? You'll see. So 1 is equal to 1. 0 is equal to negative 2. Let's start with that. Oh, actually, I got to start with 0, negative 2. Sorry, guys. So you start with your lowest one. Your lowest point is 0, negative 2, and 1, 1. y1 is equal to mx1 plus b. Okay, guys, so we have this right here, and then that would be, so if we would put this in slope-intercept form, it would be y is equal to your rate of change is m, 3x minus 2. So I just wrote that out for you on the side, you know. So when we slide x divide ya, it should be y is equal to 3x minus 2 when it is in standard form. So when it turns into slope-intercept form, it has to be the same equation as this one. So all you got to do is do what? 3x minus 1y is equal to 2. So now you got to slide x divide y. You got to slide x to the other side. The opposite of positive x is negative x. So you do negative 1y minus 3x is equal to 2. Now you divide everything by negative 1. So then, negative 1 and negative 1 cancel each other out. Negative and negative makes positive. Y is equal to negative 3 minus 1 is equal to 3x. 2 divided by negative 1 is just negative 2. Y is equal to 3x minus 2. So, A is correct, or part of A is correct. Not the whole answer, but part of it is. So, 3x minus y is equal to 2. That's correct. Not 3x plus y. So it's either C or A. Okay? So now all you have to do is type in the second line into Desmos and see what the linear equation is for that one. So you're going to get negative 1, 0, 1, 2 as your x, 6, 4, 2, 0, 6. Sorry. 4, 6, 2, 0. Now we get to y1 is equal to mx1 plus b to it. So you're going to get y is equal to negative 2x plus 4. So now we got to see which one gives you that equation when you put it out of standard form. So let's start with A. So we're going to do 2x plus y is equal to 4. Y is also just 1y, so keep that in mind. So we have to slide the x. The opposite of positive x is negative x, so you get 1y minus 2x is equal to 4. Now divide everything by positive y. Negative 2 divided by positive, or positive 1y. So this cancels each other out. That would just be y. Negative 2 divided by 1 is just negative 2. 4 divided by 1 is just 4. So it's y is equal to negative 2x plus 4. So therefore, A is your answer, guys. Okay. Okay, guys. We have one more question, and that's all we have to do for the day. Okay, guys. Okay, this one's easy. So which function is equivalent? You just type into Desmos and see which one matches with it. So just do like y is equal to 4, x minus 3 to the power square plus 5, and I don't know, do a random one. Let's just start with like b or something. 4x squared plus 41. Those do not match, so it can't be b. So we can mark that out. Let's try c. Y is equal to 4x squared. Sorry, guys. Y is equal to 4x squared minus 24x plus 41. It is equivalent. So therefore, C is your answer. All right, guys, that's enough for today. I hope I taught y'all well. This one was a little trickier. So tomorrow, I'm going to do like 10 more questions, and that should be this whole test. Okay, guys? So yeah, I hope y'all study for that STAAR, and I hope y'all pass. All right, guys? So thanks for watching, and have a good one. All right? Bye, guys.